This is San Diego News Daily.
I'm Monica Dean. Let's get right into your top local stories on this Monday. A man is now in custody after what police say was a violent attack on a freeway off-ramp in Carlsbad. CHP says 2 Chevy Silverado trucks crashed on the Tamarack off-ramp on the 5 North around 7 last night. A man driving one of the trucks got out of his vehicle and stabbed a 27-year-old male passenger, punched the female driver of the other truck, and then left the scene. They were all taken to the hospital. The ramp was shut down for hours and has since reopened. A short time later, Oceanside police arrested the 49-year-old suspect, who they identify as Orlando Query Chavez. He faces multiple charges, including assault and attempted murder. CHP says the investigation is ongoing. Marine Corps officials now say a pilot safely ejected before an F-35 burst into flames, sparking a brush fire at MCAS Miramar last Friday. But there are still questions as to what caused the $100+ million fighter jet to come crashing down. The pilot was taken to the hospital, but at this point we don't know how they're doing. The Marine Corps is classifying the crash as a Class A mishap. The jet was assigned to 3rd Marine Aircraft Group 11 last month. Another jet from the same Marine Aircraft Group crashed into a mountain in Washington state. The pilot ejected safely in that case as well. We spoke with a retired Navy combat pilot about the recent crashes.
They are not happening more frequently. I do understand the consternation, and it is justified, but aviation is inherently unforgiving. And what I mean by that is some folks will call it dangerous. I say it's very exacting or precise. And so in this case, it sure looks like it was not, from my perspective, it does not seem like pilot error. It seems more like a mechanical issue. Only time and the real investigators can tell.
The Marine Corps will conduct first a safety investigation before any information is released to the public. Starting this month, rent increase caps in San Diego County will go down from 8.8% to 8.2%. This applies to housing older than 15 years, single-family homes and condos owned by corporations, mobile homes rented from park management, and Section 8 housing. Under California law, a landlord can't increase your rent more than 5% plus the local rate of inflation, or a total of 10%, whichever is lower. Landlords still have to provide 30 days written notice for increases. A bigger paycheck is coming for some California workers. The state's minimum wage will soon be going up again, bringing with it a much debated domino effect to the overall economy. NBC7's Audra Stafford breaks down the numbers and the impact to some local businesses.
Unlike the city of San Diego, Lemon Grove doesn't have its own minimum wage. The businesses here follow the rate that's set by the state. Right now, that rate is $16.90 an hour, but in just a few months, it'll jump up to $17.40. That extra 50 cents an hour may not seem like a lot, but for a small business, it can really add up. Take Lemon Grove Coffee. Casey Doherty and her sister own the shop along with 2 others at Grossmont College and in Claremont. She told me keeping up with the rising minimum wage is tough, especially when the costs of benefits, insurance, rent, and supplies have also gone up. University of San Diego economics professor Alan Jin says that could mean one of 2 things when it comes to our economy.
Well, some people argue that that would cause them to cut back on employment to hire fewer people. On the other hand, other economists think that if you give people more buying power, they will go out there then and spend that money, particularly in a high-cost state like California, and that will boost other parts of the economy.
It's important to note that certain industries are exempt from this minimum wage hike. They include fast food workers and certain healthcare workers because their minimum wage is already above what the state would be paying, and they follow industry-specific standards. From Lemon Grove, I'm Audra Stafford, NBC7.
Meteorologist Angelica Campos joins us now with a look at your forecast.
Well, we get to see the marine layer this morning, and for the afternoon, a lot more sunshine. Temperatures will stay close to 82 degrees in San Diego today. We still have 90s, but that is better than it was over the weekend. So the worst of the heat has already peaked. Where is still a problem is in our mountains and deserts, and you can see the difference temperature-wise. Here in the mountains, we'll see numbers between 90 to about 100, but in the deserts is around 115 to almost 120. So please be careful this afternoon. A mix of clouds and sunshine near the coast. The waves today between 1 and 3 feet.
Californians now have more control over your information being sold online. What you need to know about the new regulations to protect your privacy. Stay with us.
You count on breaking news
People running in the streets, they have their kids, they have their pets.
and help preparing for the unexpected.
Small fire right now. We'll keep an eye on it.
You count on stories from your community. You count on getting different points of view
We're so human.
and your voice being heard.
We need help.
You count on in-depth reporting
It's a mess, and it's making people sick.
because you know the whole story is more than just the headline. This is coverage you count on, only on NBC7 and Telemundo 20.
This is San Diego News Daily.
I'm Monica Dean. Welcome back. Fire crews quickly put out a vegetation fire that was creeping up a hill toward a shopping center and homes in Lomita near Lemon Grove. This started around 4 this morning near Cardiff and Hamishaw Street. 5 people were briefly evacuated. It was knocked down in about a half hour, burned about 1 acre. Officials say that canyon does have a history of homeless encampments, but it's unknown if that was the cause. An investigation is underway. A woman is fighting for her life after a serious crash in Kensington. Police say a 20-year-old woman was riding a motorcycle yesterday afternoon when she lost control while taking the Fairmount Avenue off-ramp near Aldine Road. Investigators say she hit a curb and was thrown from the motorcycle, suffering a life-threatening brain bleed. Police say DUI was not a factor. Californians now have more control over their own digital information as it gets bought and sold online. It is called the Delete Request Opt-out platform, also known as DROP. Since January, 350,000 Californians have signed up for this option, and now data brokers will have to start honoring those requests. They have 45 days to stop selling your digital data. The clock restarts every 45 days to process new requests.
The alternative is you would have to contact 600 companies and say, please delete my information. And who's got time for that?
Who's got time for that? If they don't comply, they can be fined $200 a day per Californian. California Privacy says it's already fined 12 data brokers in the tens of thousands of dollars each for not registering in the system. Only California residents qualify for this service. If you want to sign up, you can find more information on NBC7.com. A heads up if you're heading to the beach today to try and beat the heat. There are a number of water closures and advisories. Yep, it's because high levels of sewage are once again spilling into the Tijuana River from Mexico. So the county issued closures from the border to Imperial Beach and Silver Strand up to Coronado. The beaches will remain closed until testing shows it's safe. There are also advisories at the Coronado Lifeguard Tower, Dog Beach in OB, and La Jolla Cove, as well as Children's Pool. NBC7 meteorologist Angelica Campos will have a look at your weather forecast right after this.
NBC7 and Telemundo 20. Weather coverage you count on. You count on accuracy.
The winds are going to be increasing.
You count on these experts
Take a look here at our future weather.
in 2 languages.
Más de 3 pulgadas de precipitación.
You count on innovative tech
Look at our first alert Doppler radar
from a team you depend on.
Dry conditions to round out this week
You count on early warnings
because we had pretty significant rain.
because you know every second counts.
It just kept getting worse and worse.
This is First Alert Weather. This is coverage you count on, only on NBC7 and Telemundo 20.
Extreme heat is still in effect for our mountains and deserts. The rest of the county is starting to see an improvement. It will not be as hot for tomorrow, but humidity will start to increase Wednesday. By Thursday, Friday, we could start to see the possibility of maybe a pop-up shower or thunderstorm, although chances are going to be mostly for the mountains and deserts, same areas under extreme heat warnings, and that chance will remain under 20%. We're going to see 90s in Escondido, mid-90s in Ramona today, but in the mountains, look at that. In Warner Springs today, possibly 101 degrees, 115 in Borrego, and that heat will continue. We're just adding humidity for the middle of the week.
This week, local law enforcement will be out at community events working to build relationships with their neighbors. In all, 6 events are planned for tomorrow's National Night Out festivities. Beginning at 4, San Diego County Sheriff's deputies and other members of the department will be hosting meet and greets to explain more about their specialized units. The events will also include food, raffles, and giveaways. You can find a full schedule and a list of locations on the department's website. More coverage you count on at NBC7.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.